6 o'clock, I'd like to call this meeting to order and ask everyone to please rise for Pledge of Allegiance and prayer.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Sean, if you'd lead us into the last prayer, please.
All right, let's pray. Heavenly Father, we thank you for this beautiful day and this community that we get to call home. We come to you this hour asking for your blessing and help as we are gathered tonight to conduct city business. Guide and direct us in everything that we say and that we do. It's in Jesus' name that we pray. Amen.
Amen. Roll call. I am present. Alderwoman Dent.
Present.
Alderman Bolerjack. Present. Alderman Whalen.
Present.
Alderman Letchworth.
Present.
City Administrator Burbridge.
Present.
City Clerk Kohler.
Present.
City Attorney Weber. Public Works Director Payne is absent. Chief of Police Chase. Finance Director Stacy Houston. And I see we got Miss Melissa DuBois from Park and Rec. We have any other city staff? Oh, no. Josh. Almost didn't recognize you. Need to wear some glow in the dark there, buddy. All right. Next up, need approval of tonight's agenda with the removal of Resolution 7-2025.
I move to approve the agenda and take off Resolution 7-2025.
I second the motion.
Now we'll call for the vote. Alderman Letchworth.
Yes.
Alderwoman Dent.
Yes.
Alderman Bolerjack.
Yes.
And Alderman Whalen.
Yes.
Next up is the consent agenda. Have approval or a motion?
I make a motion to approve the consent agenda.
I second the motion.
Call for the vote. Alderman Whalen.
Yes.
Alderman Letchworth.
Yes.
Alderwoman Dent.
Yes.
And Alderman Bolerjack.
Yes.
All right. Before we do the certification of election results, I have a speech and award to present tonight. And I'll first start off with my speech. It's an honor this evening to recognize Alderman Sean Bolerjack for his exemplary public service to the city of Salem. Since his appointment on February the 1st of 2021, and through his elected terms, Alderman Bolerjack has brought steady leadership, thoughtful decision-making, and clear dedication to the people of Salem. As board president, he has helped guide the city through important initiatives, strengthening financial stability, improving infrastructure, transparency, and teamwork in local government. Whether addressing utility bill challenges, supporting the downtown revitalization project, or improving city operations, Sean has always led with integrity and commitment to what's best for our community. On behalf of myself, the Board of Aldermen, and city staff, it is my great pleasure to present a plaque in appreciation for your service and leadership. Thank you, Alderman Sean Bolerjack.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, Sean, your turn.
Well, thank you, Mayor. I want to begin by thanking those I've had the privilege of working with during my time in office, our aldermen, alderwomen, the mayors, and our hardworking city staff. While there have certainly been challenging moments, I believe we are now on a strong path forward, led by consistent leadership and a dedicated team focused on creating long-term stability and growth for our city. I also want to thank my amazing wife, Kelsey, and our sweet daughter, Riley, for their love and support throughout these past few years. And our newest addition to the family, our baby boy, Parker, who arrived just days ago. I'm especially grateful for the strength and encouragement I receive from home. it has made all the difference. Serving this community over the past 4 years has been an incredible honor. We faced real challenges such as utility billing issues, rising costs, and the ongoing effects of a global pandemic. But through transparency, teamwork, and difficult decisions, we've made real progress. We've strengthened the city's financial health, increased public engagement, and laid the foundation for major infrastructure projects that will benefit Salem for years to come. These accomplishments are a testament to the professionalism and dedication of our city staff, whose behind-the-scenes efforts often go unseen but never unnoticed. I don't think I can say enough how much we appreciate them. To the residents of Salem, thank you for your trust, your feedback, and your engagement. Representing you has been a true privilege. Though I'm stepping away from this seat, my commitment to this community remains as strong as ever. Thank you for the opportunity to serve. It's been an honor to be part of something greater than myself. Yeah, thank you.
And we'll make sure to keep Sean's number listed under IT, okay, in case we need him. At this time, we'll need the certification of the election results. Ms. Kohler, if you would, please.
I apologize. Resolution number 12-2025, a resolution declaring the results of the municipal election held on April 8th, 2025. Be it resolved by the Board of Aldermen of the City of Salem, Missouri as follows. Section 1, the city clerk has presented the Board of Aldermen with the voting results of the municipal election held on April 8th, 2025 as certified by the Dent County Election Authority for the offices of A, 1 alderman from the East Ward to serve, East Ward of the city to serve an unexpired term. B, 1 alderman from the West Ward of the city to serve a 2-year term. C, 1 alderman from the East Ward of the city to serve a 2-year term. Section 2, the Board of Aldermen, having canvassed the return of this municipal election held on April 8th, 2025, declares the results of said election as follows. East Ward, unexpired term, Nathan Kinsey, 107 votes. Steve Everard, 84 votes. West Ward Alderman, 2-year term, Roger Brooks, 75 votes. John Whalen,
Tammy, it's
I'm sorry.
95. Might want to reread that.
what did I say?
75.
Whoops, 95. I apologize. Roger Brooks, 95 votes. John Whalen, 111 votes. Brett Clapperich, 39 votes. East Ward Alderman, 2-year term, Rick Letchworth, 159 votes. Section 3, this resolution shall be in full force and effect from and after the date of its passage and approval.
Thank you. At this time, do I have a motion for Resolution 12-2025?
I move to approve resolution number 12-2025.
I second the motion.
I will call for the vote. Alderman Bolerjack,
Yes.
Alderwoman Dent,
Yes.
Alderman Letchworth,
Yes.
and Alderman Whalen.
Yes.
This time, it's for the oath of office to be, our newest members to be sworn in for your oath of office. Come on up, Mr. Kinsey. Mr. Whalen, get up here.
Yes.
Yep. Go get him, Rick. Proud of you.
John Whalen,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I possess all the qualifications for
I possess all the qualifications for Westwood,
as prescribed by law,
as prescribed by law,
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and of the state of Missouri,
and of the state of Missouri,
the provisions of all laws of this state
provisions of all laws of this state,
affecting cities of this class,
affecting cities of this class,
and the ordinances of the city of Salem, Missouri,
and the ordinances of the city of Salem, Missouri,
and faithfully demean myself in office, so help me God.
and faithfully demean myself in office, so help me God.
Congratulations.
Do a fake chair.
Trade you.
Always got pens in my purse.
I scribble.
Carry those.
I'm sure you're gonna need
Yeah, thank you. Seems like I just did that. I don't need this other one.
All right. Everybody else set?
Sir.
Hey, look at that, I got a message. All right, now it's time for a reorganization of the board. At this time, we need a motion for a new board president.
I make a motion for a new board president
For,
for Letchworth.
okay. Do I have a second?
I'll second that motion.
This time, I will call for the vote. Alderman Kinsey,
Yes.
Alderman Whalen,
Yes.
Alderwoman Dent,
Yes.
and Alderman Letchworth.
Yes.
All right, next up is the fun part. Boards and committee appointments. So we get started. I want to see I made some changes for all of our boards and committees, for who chairs and some that might serve on it, just to get some fresh faces and some fresh ideas in it. We'll start with planning and zoning. Keith Enman to serve as chair, Sherman Odom, Kyle Williams as vice chair, Dr. Wayne Burts for secretary, Richard LaBrash, and Elizabeth Condrey. Board of Adjustments, Bob Parsons, chairman, Ryan Whitaker, Rob Benowitz, Martin Kulik, and Kyle Williams. Next up is Park and Recs. We have Carlos Lopez is the president or chair. And then we have Crystal Pilkington, Angie Curley, Christy Rushing, Luke Heithold, Kayla Cisco. Finance Committee will be Alderman Rick Letchworth to serve as chair. Co-chair will be Alderman John Whalen, David Weiss, Patty McEwen, Kyle Williams, and Lauren Toman. Utility Committee. The new chairman will be Alderman Nathan Kinsey. Co-chair will be Alderman John Whalen, David Weiss, Kyle Williams, Lauren Toman, Harold Hamilton, and Trina Potts. Community Involvement Committee. Alderwoman Catherine Dent for chairwoman, Alderman Whalen for co-chair. We still have Roma Jones, Christy Rushing, Elena Sellers, Sierra Connell, Carlos Lopez, Patty and Gary McEwen, Hannah Heithold, Emily Cook, Danielle Kisser, and Brittany Shepard, which I think some of those are subject to change. Airport Board, City Administrator Sally Burbridge, Alderman Nathan Kinsey to serve, Tyler Naramore for President, Jim Haven for Vice President, John Maholka for Secretary, John Mulady, Steve Spencer, Rich Parks, Chris Holliday. Capital Improvement will be the Chair, Alderman John Whalen, Co-Chair, Alderman Rick Letchworth, Annie Deathridge, Danita Williams, Lauren Peru, Michael Rushing, and might have to correct me on this one, staff, the Enhanced Enterprise Zone Board, Dan Salyer, Willie Strader, Jamie Holmeyer, Dean Jones, Dustin Howard, all right, Jeff Dodson, and Nathan Wills. All right. That is it. Do I have a motion for my recommendations for the boards and committees?
I make a motion to approve your recommendations as stated.
I second the motion.
This time I will call for the vote. Alderman Kinsey,
Yes.
Alderman Letchworth,
Yes.
Alderwoman Dent,
No.
and Alderman Whalen.
Yes.
And we have nothing up for public comment. The next item up is request for road closure for the high school. Senior parade for, their annual senior parade. Is anybody here to present that, or?
I don't believe she's here. She has just requested the same route that they've done in previous years.
From the high school down 3rd Street up.
I think that, Chief, is that the
What's the
the
parade
route for the senior parade?
Okay.
Thank you. Okay. Yeah, I believe it's the same route that they've always done. Thank you.
Yeah. Need a motion to accept the.
I make a
request for
motion
road-
that we accept the request for road closure, high school senior parade.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
And we'll call for the vote. Alderman Whalen,
Yes.
Alderman Kinsey,
Yes.
Alderman Letchworth,
Yes.
Alderwoman Dent.
Yes.
Next item up, we got bids for the wastewater treatment, there and park for fencing. Bid approval.
So, good evening, everyone. So with Mr. Payne not with us this evening, I guess I will be presenting this. So the fencing around the wastewater treatment plant was damaged in the November flooding. So we are looking at replacing, repairing portions of this that was damaged. You can see the details here. It includes replacing 2 gates, 2 drive-through gates. One of those gates is a 20-foot wide double panel gate. Right now, it's only 4 foot tall. This is the one that provides access to the plant from the trail, the old rail bed trail. We want to go ahead and make that 6 foot, same height as the rest of the fencing. Doesn't make sense to have it 4 foot because the point is to keep folks out. That cost will be on us because it was not damaged by the flooding. But since we're doing the work to repair fencing anyway, we wanted to go ahead and get it done, okay? Let's see, so we did put this out to bid. It was in the Salem News on February 18th, posted to the city's website, and also sent to at least 3 vendors who've bid on work in the past for the city. We only received 1 bid from J&M Construction and Fencing in the amount of $37,850 for the 850 feet of fence and the 20-foot entrance gate. As we were looking at costs for fencing, this one looked a bit higher than what we thought maybe it should come in. But Steve started doing some checking, talking to some other fencing companies who chose not to bid. And we're within just a few $1,000s. It's not significantly over what it would run otherwise. So, you know, if we chose to rebid, we run the risk of, you know, first of all, hopefully we'd get at least the one bid. It could come back higher. It's hard to say what would happen. Again, we know that there were multiple fence companies who were aware of it because staff did speak with more than one fencing company. Only one chose to bid. This is, as I mentioned, all of this work, with the exception of the one gate, which is the $2,800, would be subject to apply for reimbursement through FEMA. Okay. So you can see the fiscal impacts there. The sewer reserve fund is this where staff is recommending this be pulled from, has a current balance of $125,000, so more than adequate for this project itself. And so I was in for any questions, and I'll do my best to answer. This bid was put out with multiple pieces, but we're going to award in separate pieces because the park board needs to meet to approve any expenditure, since for the replacement of the fencing in the ballparks, that's also not a budgeted item. So park board needs to review this and give their recommendation before it comes to you all.
All right. This time I'll open it up for the board for questions for staff.
I've got a comment. I think right now with current trade tariffs and actions going on, I think we could easily incur a lot more cost if we rebid this.
Potentially.
Yeah, I mean, I would have liked to seen us have more competitive bids. Maybe we can talk later about why we're not getting bids. I don't know if there's any other reason
So,
than,
well, we originally lent this out as just for the wastewater treatment plant. And then staff shifted gears and decided to combine the park fencing with this, hoping it would make it more appealing to some of our fencing
bigger
companies.
job.
And this is the result. So,
Okay.
yeah.
That's fair.
The gate in question, is that an automated gate, as in it's got a motor set up, or is it just a swing gate?
It's just a swing gate.
Okay.
I believe that one's a double swing gate.
6 foot.
Pieces. No, it's 20 foot.
8 foot.
But 6 foot tall is what we're
Yeah, 6 foot.
proposing to put in. It's 4 foot right now.
Double swings, yeah.
Anything else?
No.
It's more time, Nathan.
I'm good.
Okay. Well, at this time, do I have a motion?
I move to approve the bid from J&M Construction and Fencing in the amount of $40,650 for the replacement of the WWTP fencing gates.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
At this time, I'll call for the vote. Alderman Letchworth,
Yes.
Alderman Kinsey,
Yes.
Alderwoman Dent,
Yes.
and Alderman Whalen.
Yes.
Next up is the electric transformer bid approval.
So we are in need of getting some more transformers just to keep on hand in case of any emergencies or equipment failures. I've reached out to 3 different vendors. Sunbelt Solomon of $1,005 for each transformer, Arkansas Electric for $1,750, and Jerry's Electric for $1,495. I would need to make a transfer from my equipment maintenance to my transformer fund in order to cover that cost. But I would like to buy 11 units at that price there of $11,055, and just to make sure that everybody keeps their lights on. It would be a transfer of $7,500 from my equipment maintenance to the transformer fund.
So
That-
already budgeted funds just from one line to another
Oh,
within
okay.
electric.
I didn't know if it would, how it would make your
No,
other
I have the
look
funds in
fine.
that account, it just needs to transfer.
Well, I'm just saying, after you do the transfer, how would the funds look after you
Will be-
transferred? Will you be okay? All right.
Are those like transformers, as in how they're made, same company as far as,
They're all the same specs.
Okay.
As far as what they put out, what they do.
okay.
Everything's apples to apples on it.
Now, I'm guessing with something like that, there's no warranty
There's a 3-year warranty on it,
on all three sets?
yes.
Okay.
All right. I think that's all we need, Josh. Anybody got any more questions for Josh? All right. Thanks, Josh. At this time, do we have a motion?
I make a motion that we approve the electrical transformer bid approval with the transferring funds from the equipment for the amount of $7,500.
Do I have a second?
I second that motion.
I'll call for the vote. Alderman Whalen,
Yes.
Alderman Letchworth,
Yes.
Alderwoman Dent,
Yes.
and Alderman Kinsey.
Yes.
Next up is new miscellaneous business. We have Resolution 13-2025.
Resolution number 13-2025, a resolution authorizing the mayor to execute a quitclaim deed conveying certain real property located at 306 East 2nd Street, Salem, Missouri, to Sherry Harwiger for the sum of $1,000 and other valuable consideration.
Thank you.
Mayor and Alderman. So this has been ongoing for a little bit. This is the Second Street property that was originally donated to the city through the Voluntary Residential Demolition Program. Staff had determined that there was no municipal use for this property, and with your approval last summer, we put it up for public bid. Ms. Harwiger was the only individual who put a bid in on the property. And so you'll see here kind of some background. After it being donated to the city, there was demolition of the remaining foundation and cistern on the property, did some backfilling, some seeding, got it cleaned up. And so then, like I said, then we put it out for bid. Ms. Harwiger was the only bid. You all had approved that bid back in September of '24. And so at this point, this is simply the transfer of the quitclaim deed, transferring the property to Mrs. Harwiger. And again, this is, forgive me, 306 East 2nd Street here in town. So I would stand for any questions.
Any questions from the board?
I have none.
All right. At this time, do we have a motion for Resolution 13-2025?
I make a motion to approve Resolution 13-2025, authorizing you to sign a quitclaim deed, transferring ownership of 306 East 2nd to Sherry Harwiger.
And do I have a second?
I'll second.
This time I'll call for the vote. Alderman Letchworth,
Yes.
Alderman Kinsey,
Yes.
Alderman Whalen,
Yes.
and Alderwoman Dent.
Yes.
Next up is Resolution 14-2025.
Resolution number 14-2025, a resolution authorizing the mayor to execute a tower lease agreement between Wave Internet Technologies LLC and the City of Salem, Missouri for installation and operation of broadband equipment on the city-owned water tower known as the Bottle Rocket Tower.
Thank you.
Mayor and Alderman, this is a lease agreement that we have had for the past several years between the city and Wave Internet. So they do have internet equipment antennas on top of our Witch's Hat Tower. The only change to this over the agreement that we've had for the past several years is we're extending it to a 3-year term instead of annually. So that's, like I said, that's the only difference to this and what you have seen in the past. This will be retroactive to February 1st of this year, and then run for 3 years through January 31st of 2028.
Are there any questions from the board?
No.
Do I have a motion for Resolution 14-2025?
I'll make a motion to approve 14-2025.
Do I have a second?
I'll second the motion.
This time I'll call for the vote. Alderman Kinsey,
Yes.
Alderman Whalen,
Yes.
Alderwoman Dent,
Yes.
and Alderman Letchworth.
Yes.
Next up is Resolution 15-2025.
Resolution number 15-2025, a resolution authorizing approval of a bid from J&M Construction and Fencing for repair and replacement of fencing and gates at the Salem wastewater treatment plant.
Thank you. This time, do I have a motion for Resolution 15-2025?
I'll make a motion to approve 15-2025.
I'll second that motion.
This time, I'll call for the vote. Alderman Kinsey,
Yes.
Alderman Letchworth,
Yes.
Alderwoman Dent,
Yes.
Alderman Whalen,
Yes.
and last but not least, Resolution 16-2025.
Resolution number 16-2025, a resolution of the City of Salem, Missouri, declaring support for the preservation of the federal tax exemption of municipal bonds.
Thank you.
So on this, I attended the Missouri Municipal League's legislative conference on March the 25th. And on a federal level, this was a concern because right now municipal bonds are tax exempt. The sunsetting of the Tax Cut and Jobs Act of 2017 would make municipal bonds subject to taxes. And I added a couple slides to that. I can't get mine to pull up.
I've got them coming up on the screen.
That the National League of Cities did a presentation on that, and you will see the history of municipal bonds being tax exempt. In 2017, that was when they tried to, or they removed that so that they would continue to be tax exempt. In 2024, some more people got together and decided that they wanted to remove that tax exemption from municipal bonds. And so it's back on the cutting block, and you'll see Mr. Moore here, he thinks that that's a good idea. But what it means for our city and other cities like us is that it would be, so these are the numbers that they gave us, $823.9 billion is what it would cost local governments in the next 10 years if they make those bonds taxable. So for example, for us, it would be our sewer bond. So if we don't have those tax exempts, then when we have to do those types of projects, we have to pass that along to taxpayers, which is the next line, which shows the average household would have to pay about $6,500 more than they pay now, and it would make smaller communities, they wouldn't be able to get the funding that they would need to make these improvements. So this resolution is just in support of keeping that tax exemption. When you would approve this, I would send this on with examples of our sewer bond and how it's helped our community to be able to have this. And so I would ask that you would approve this resolution.
Anyone have any questions? All right.
Thank you.
Thank you, Tammy. This time, do I have a motion for Resolution 16-2025?
I make a motion to approve Resolution 16, 2025, declaring support for the preservation of the federal tax exemption on municipal bonds.
I second that motion.
This time, I'll call for the vote. Alderman Whalen,
Yes.
Alderman Letchworth,
Yes.
Alderman Kinsey,
Yes.
Alderwoman Dent.
Yes.
Next up is reports of city officials, boards, and committees. Ms. Burbridge, you're up first, ma'am.
Did you have a question, Mr. Whalen?
Point of information. I'm sorry for not paying attention. Did we do Resolution 7, 2025?
We removed it.
We
from the-
removed it from the agenda.
Okay.
Or you all removed it?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so I passed out at your seats there at the table before the meeting, this city administrator report. So this is just, I had sent you the email previously about the emergency purchase for the wastewater treatment plant. So this is for the gearbox and motor. So that, for Alderman Kinsey, who hasn't been with us as long, due to the flooding at the wastewater treatment plant, we've had to make multiple emergency purchases where we couldn't afford to wait for the purchasing, the normal process. This would normally have been an advertised bid, I think. Yeah, sorry. And so we needed to get it going right away. Normally, our wastewater treatment plant has 4 aerators in operation. We were down to 1 with the gearbox and motor going out. So this will get us back up having at least 2, which we're fine right now operating with 2. We'll have to have the other 2 online when we start construction on the wastewater treatment plant itself. As we move stuff around to do construction, we'll have to have the other 2 operational. So that's that piece. Unless anyone has questions for me on that, I'll move on.
Are the other 2 operational now?
No,
Okay, I
No.
didn't think they were.
no.
Do we know what's wrong with them?
Yes,
Okay, we'll get it later.
not my person at the moment, how's
Right,
that?
I got you.
Or at least I can't recall.
Okay.
Let's see. Okay, so in addition, so welcome aboard, Alderman Kinsey. For all of you on the board, I would like to, in the past, I have done, and Alderwoman Dent, I'll just state up, I did not do it last year, but I knew you had been through some of the orientation pieces previously through committees. So I didn't do it last year, but I would like to offer for everyone this year, I would like to do an orientation with everyone. 2 or 3 different kind of pieces to that. One of the things I would like to do with you all this year that we've not done in the past is I would actually like to invite you to tour a couple of facilities that we have in the city so that you have a better understanding of the operations of them, what they do, maybe some of the issues. So I will work with all of you to set up a date. I'll send an email out and coordinate that with staff who can take you on that tour and explain knowledgeably what happens at those facilities. I think it's important because you all do make decisions in the millions of dollars on some of these facilities. And so I think it would be good for all of you to have that information. So that's one piece I'd like to add this year as part of orientation we've not done in the past. The other one, I do have some basic handouts and information that I'd like to go over with you all. I think most of you will pretty much get it either through prior service on committees and then having been on the board. But just as a refresher, some pieces I'd like to go over. And then I have a question for each of you on how you would like to have information, policies, different things like that of the city. Would you rather have a printed binder or would you rather have a zip drive with that information?
I'd rather have a printed binder.
Okay,
I agree with that.
so Catherine and John, so Alderwoman Dent and Alderman Whalen. And
You can give me a zip drive.
Zip,
Yeah,
okay.
most of it I can look up online.
Alderman Letchworth,
A zip drive.
zip, Alderman Kinsey.
Zip drive as well.
Okay. Okay. That way I can get you the information as you prefer to receive it. One last piece. I reached out to the college in Raleigh, to S&T, and I asked them about some board, like a workshop. I don't know if any of you have done previously kind of, sometimes they're called personality profiles. This is about decision-making and how you make decisions and things like that. And I would like to throw that out. I'd like to do it with you all as a board. I would like to do all of you on the board as well as management team. So management team are appointed staff members. So myself, Tammy, Stacy, Chief, Steve Payne, potentially our new economic development person. And that way, just to kind of get a better feel for how everyone prefers to receive information. It will help us as staff to know that. I think it could be a good exercise. So I would just kind of like to quiz you all, see if you'd be willing to participate in such a thing.
I'll be fine with that.
Okay, so it would be an email out in advance questionnaire you would fill out, and then we would need to schedule like a 1-hour session, okay, where we have someone from S&T come and facilitate that for us. Okay? Okay. All right. All right, I will get with you all on dates for all of the above that I mentioned. How's that?
Okay.
Thank you all. Oh, sorry, one more thing. Server migration. Okay, so the best way to sum it up is it's going according to plan, it's just taking twice as long, okay? We were hoping to have been back up functional by 1 o'clock yesterday. Obviously, that didn't work out. However, on the plus side, we as staff, those of us from the admin building, came here to the city hall and went through the old file room. So then when we went back to the main admin building at 1, and we still couldn't function, we went down in the basement and went through files. And we carved out over 200 boxes of files that we are in the process of getting the final documentation on, ready for destruction. So I know we also had a lot of trash. We filled the dumpster a time or two. So it was a huge win in my book to get that done. That's one of those things we've been needing to get to. We just don't have time in our normal day. So in that respect, it was definitely not wasted time, yes. So we are back up all but like 1 or 2 computers in the admin building right now. Hopefully we'll have those back up in the morning. A few issues with Tyler Technologies, which is in code, we've got to work through.
Okay.
So, and that's all I have unless anyone has questions.
Any questions?
Okay. All right. Thank you all.
All right. All right. City Clerk Kohler.
Good afternoon, Alderman, Mayor. So I have a few things that I would like. I laid some pamphlets in front of you on your table, and that is newly elected training in Rolla in May, I believe. And then we also have MML hosts a newly elected training in Columbia in June. And so we do have budgeted funds for you to attend these trainings. So I would like for you to get with me within maybe the next 7 or 10 days and let me know which one of those you would prefer to attend. The one in Rolla in May or the one in Columbia in June.
Now they have options.
They do have options. And then my second thing is May the 21st is going to be Cemetery Cleanup Day. That is an all hands-on-deck event where employees get together. We all go out there and we weed eat and mow and pick up flowers and dust off stones and that sort of thing so that that entire cemetery, all 38 acres of it, is ready for Memorial Day. Last week, I put a Facebook page out or a post out letting everyone know that I needed all of the decorations off of the graves by today so that when cemetery staff mows and weed eats that this summer, they're not fighting decorations on those graves. Unfortunately, what has happened in the past, and I completely understand, my father is buried there, so I completely understand wanting to decorate your grave, but I also understand this side of it where we have staff that needs to be able to efficiently and effectively mow around 33 acres of stones. So lining graves with items is not allowed, and they will be removed and put inside our warehouse for you to pick up within 30 days. If they're not picked up, they will be thrown away, so make sure that you pick those up if that happens. And that is in our cemetery policy, and anyone can request that from me. I'm in the process of trying to get that on our webpage, but I haven't gotten that done yet. So it's quite a task to keep that cemetery clean and pristine and where our staff can get around those stones efficiently. So, and I would stand for questions.
Speechless. Thank you, Tammy.
Thank you.
All right, next up is my report. First and foremost important note of the week. They have Carry the Cross this Friday, April the 18th, from 7 a.m. to 11 a.m. Everybody's meeting at the crossroads to pass out crosses. If you'd like to hold one up, be there at 7 o'clock. Last but not least, we have the Salem Community-wide Yard Sale. It's Saturday, May the 3rd. Need a space or to hold your yard sale? Spaces are available for rent at the admin building. They have parking spaces, $8 for 2 parking spaces. You may reserve spaces by coming by the office at 400 North Iron or calling 729-4177 or 4117. Spring residential cleanup will follow for 2 weeks, immediately up after the community-wide yard sale, May the 5th through the 9th and the 12th through the 16th on your regular trash day. I ask everybody to please take advantage of this. Get rid of that unwanted furniture. Don't wait. It's not going to wait. Other than that, that's all I have for the report tonight.
I have Mr.
Administrator
Payne's-
Burbridge, would you like to do the
Yes.
Public
So-
Works report, please?
Yes, so I do have Mr. Payne's report that he put together for you all. So I'll read that off. So wastewater treatment plant, the guys continue work on the FEMA reimbursement needs, working with Stacy on getting the documentation necessary. Continuing preparation for the upcoming construction phases. Those will be starting soon. And the daily testing continues at the plant. The plant is healthy, and part of that is because we've been doing these emergency purchases as things are going out, making sure that we're providing what we need to continue to process. The Water Department repaired water service lines and water mains. They did prep, since last time, a fire hydrant with a valve for replacement on 4th Street. Electric crew, line trimming crew continues to make gains on the work orders across town for those tree trimming, that backlog of work orders. Continued streetlight repairs and replacement. And a heads up, in June, Show Me Power will be doing some pole replacements out by their substation on H Highway. And so there will be some planned power outages. So just want to make sure you all are aware that is coming. We will be notified in advance so we can give the community notice, okay? But those are coming up in June. Construction crew repaired rain leaks on facilities in the Parks Department. And we've got multiple concrete projects that have kind of getting started and prepping for this summer. Streets. Finalized the citywide cleanup for hauling yard waste, and we'll be doing that again. We normally do it during the community cleanup, the spring cleanup. So we'll be doing that again at that time. Let's see. Okay. So just a reminder on that for yard waste pickup, that debris needs to be less than 4 inches in diameter, cut into 4-foot lengths or less, bundled if possible. Just makes it a lot easier for our crews to pick that stuff up. We really can't be out there picking up entire trees. And so we do ask that happen. Leaves placed in clear biodegradable bags. Those are available at the utility office for a small fee. Picked up a load of cold mix asphalt, working on filling potholes around town. Ongoing process. Okay, hold on here. Okay, so fresh cuts in the pavement where we've had to do repairs on mains, water mains or sewer mains. We do, and we talked about this as staff here just recently, we do have to let those sit for at least 2 months for the ground to settle and be packed in before we can go back over and patch it with asphalt. Okay, so just keep that in mind as we hear folks. I know that's a complaint we get regularly, but we do need to give it time for that to pack in and settle before we asphalt over it so that doesn't sink, okay? We also have some street painting projects that have begun around town. The mechanic shop repaired and maintained multiple pieces of equipment citywide. We've had quite a few pieces of equipment in the shop lately. Cemetery crew, so obviously mowing season has started, as Tammy was attesting to. And we want to give a big shout out to Heather Johnson in the Salem Senior High School and her 25 students who came out and helped clean up at the cemetery on Wednesday, April 9th. So they did a lot of trash pickup, faded flowers, things like that. So a huge help. So just quick reminders of the do's and don'ts of the citywide cleanup. Like I said, for yard debris, that's, 4-foot lengths, 4-inch diameter, bundled for brush, leaves in clear recyclable bags. And then we are posting on on the city's Facebook page, the mayor mentioned it, for the regular trash cleanup. Something new this year, mattresses need to be plastic wrapped.
Yeah, due to the increase of the spread of bed bugs.
Yes, so that's new this year. We are asking folks who have mattresses to be picked up that they be wrapped in plastic.
And we don't want to take it home, so.
No. And a quick reminder, if you have any issues, utility issues, make sure you call the office to initiate a work order. The utility line is 4117, sorry. So that's the utility line if you have utility issues and you need to call to issue a work order or get a work order initiated. If you have other questions or concerns, you can call the admin line. The admin office line is 729-4811. So that's the main city line, okay? Social media and posts, remember, those don't generate work orders. Your issues won't get solved there. You need to call us and let us know. And for any after-hour issues, you need to call the police department's dispatch number, non-emergency, 729-4242. And then they can get in touch with the on-call crews to address whatever the issue is. So just some reminders for the public there. Okay, that's it.
It's like Steve was here.
Yeah, right?
All right. Miss Melissa, come on up. Good evening.
Good evening, Melissa.
He's working on it.
Okay.
You're good now.
All right, here we go. All right, soccer has started. We, for the very first weekend, had a rain out, so we have to make that up May 3rd. We'll try to keep pushing it out, but I have some good news, and we might be able to have some games during the evenings during a work week, so that might be an option to help get those games in before we start summer ball, because we've got to get them in before then. Brent with Streets came over, and he filled in the washed out holes in the green ball field. And he also moved all the new dirt that we had with his grader, and he did a marvelous job. Don was very impressed with his handiwork, said he was very, very talented. So we appreciate him helping us out there. Dustin's been working on cleaning out and power washing the pool liner in preparation that Landmark Aquatics, which is formerly Westport Pools, to come and de-winterize on May 1st. And so then we'll be filling up and getting it and preparing it. We have a little bit of a buffer. It's been closed now for 2 years, so, well, it was closed years, but the pump hasn't been running in 2 years. So we're gonna give it some time and make sure that all that's in operation. So that gives us plenty of time to do that. Brandon Schmidt was able to come in and fire on all the light poles at Al Brown last night.
Yeah,
And they all came on. It was so great. I've been really excited about that. They all here, I keep sending pictures and stuff. Today I worked with Musco Lighting to get everyone set up on the account to operate the lights remotely via desktop or the app. So that's exciting. I can turn the lights on right now if you would like. It's very nice. We actually have access to turn on each pole individually. I can reduce the brightness, so for just practices, we can turn it to 50%. For cleanup periods, we can turn it down to 30%. It's a really neat system, and I actually wish I would have known more about it and been able to put another set of lights facing the multipurpose field so we could get rid of all of the old fixtures we have there, because that's generally just a multipurpose practice field, but hindsight. Sorry, my phone closed. Summer ball registration closes tomorrow, the 16th, and we are short girls. We need girls to get active. I know we have a lot of traveling ball teams now that have picked up, which is great, but I also think that really talented kids need to play with kids that are still learning, so that there's that model behavior that's happening so that they can learn too. But we're still looking for 8U and 14-year-old girls so that we can have at least 2 teams, because we want them to play. Met with Department of Conservation again about the creek erosion throughout the park again. I had met with them right before the giant flood, and they hadn't come back. So I wanted them to come back and look again because it did a doozy on our walking bridges and really ate around our concrete. He came in with some really great advice about rock wrapping our bridges and rock wrapping. Am I saying that right?
Yeah.
Okay. Because I had to call Jared to come in, and then we called Brent to come in for more advice. But I just wanted people that were more knowledgeable about the subject than I was, so that I don't just say yes to people that I think know more.
No.
Anyway, so they came, and then Brent also got back with me and checked rock prices. There's a specific type of rock. He called it MoDOT number 2 or something, but it's 18, 24 inch, so that it will lock in together. And he gave me an estimate on that. I'm going to work on getting that together. It'll be much cheaper for us to do it than hiring out somebody because we already have the equipment and the manpower. And Brent sounded really excited that he would love to do that because that's a lot of fun for him. So I encourage him to do it because he does a really good job from what I hear. It's great. I also spoke with All Inclusive Rec. I didn't get really exciting news that I wanted to hear because I want the park open last week. But again, we cannot, the contractors cannot come and work on it until we have temperatures over 40 degrees. I actually had somebody messaging me on Facebook while I was sitting here very irate with me about the park not being open. It's out of my control at this point. The fences are up for safety purposes because we cannot allow people to be playing on surfaces that are unsafe. Half of it, all of it, it's
That needs to
all,
be fixed.
it all, the whole thing needs to be fixed. At this point, it's going to be hurting my pavilion rentals because people want the park to be open. So that's going to hit my budget it's constantly being used throughout the summer. So she came back and said that the tile company is looking at end of May, June for repairs, which is frustrating to me because I wanted it done
Sure.
before our busy season. But again, I have to roll with the punches, and our temperatures continue to fluctuate. It has to be over 40 degrees for a 2-week period of time. There will also be 2 different contracting companies. There will be a company that comes in to do the solid surface, and then another company that will come in and do the tiles. So just to kind of give you an update of what we're seeing.
Sounds good.
And after I leave here, it won't be dark yet. Dang it. I'm going to go play with the lights again. So if you want to see it, I'll be over there playing with the lights.
So I can message you at 2 o'clock in the morning saying who left the ball field lights on. And
I
then you can just get your phone?
I mean, you can do it. I may not respond, but
It was worth a shot. As always, thank you, Melissa.
anybody have any questions for me?
Very good.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Last but not least, Alderman report. Alderman Letchworth.
I have nothing to report.
All right. Alderman Kinsey.
Nothing to report as of yet.
Alderwoman Dent.
No report.
And Alderman Whalen.
I'd just like to thank those that came out and voted. No matter who you voted for in the last election, I would like to see a bigger turnout. And for those that voted for me, I appreciate your vote, and I'll do my very best to earn it. Thank you.
And I'll make sure that he stays to that. This time, do I have a motion to adjourn?
I make a motion we adjourn.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
I will call for the vote. Alderman Whalen.
Yes.
Alderman Kinsey.
Yes.
Alderwoman Dent.
Yes.
And Alderman Letchworth.
Yes.
All right. Thank you all for attending.